Have you ever bought something from a social media ad? I have. Odds are, if you did, you saw the ad several times before you even really noticed it, and then you saw it a few more times before you decided to make that purchase. Well, that's an example of a marketing principle of repetition. And today we're going to be talking about multi-touch marketing for evangelistic events and why repeated invitations are so important in reaching people for Jesus. Hello, I'm Larry Witzel. Welcome back to Ministry Insights from SermonView. I'm so grateful to spend a few minutes with you, and I do hope that you'll find this inspiring, educational, and affirming to your ministry. Have you ever bought something from a social media ad? A while back, I remember seeing an ad for a webcam on social media. At first, I ignored it, but the ad kept showing up in my feed, and eventually I noticed it had a very specific feature that I like. It lowered the camera over the screen so I could maintain eye contact while on Zoom calls. I liked the idea, so I clicked to learn more. But I still didn't buy it. The price made me hesitate. I wasn't sure if the value justified the cost. And then after a few Zoom calls where I struggled to maintain eye contact, I realized how valuable that feature would be. Around the same time, the company released an upgraded 4K version, and that was the tipping point. I finally made the purchase. Looking back, I never would have bought that webcam if I had only seen the ad one time. I needed multiple touch points to recognize its value. And guess what? That same principle applies to evangelism marketing. Let's look at Mark chapter 4, where Jesus tells the parable of the sower. A farmer went out to plant some seed. As he scattered it across his field, some of the seed fell on a footpath, and the birds came and ate it. Other seed fell on shallow soil, but the plant soon wilted under the hot sun. Other seed fell among thorns, so they produced no grain. Still other seeds fell on fertile soil and produced a crop that was 30, 60, and even 100 times as much as had been planted. Jesus knew that not every seed would take root immediately. Some needed better conditions, others needed more time, some required repeated sowing before they would grow. Evangelistic outreach works the same way. People often need multiple invitations before they seriously consider attending an event. Marketing research consistently shows that people rarely respond to an invitation the first time they see it. In fact, the rule of 7 in advertising suggests that a person needs to see a message at least 7 times before taking action. A study published in the Journal of Consumer Research found that repeated exposure to a message increases both familiarity and trust, making people more likely to engage with it. Simply put, the more times someone sees an invitation, the more likely they are to respond. And that's why multi-touch marketing is so effective for evangelistic events. You want to reach people multiple times using multiple communication channels to be most effective. Here at SermonView, we use 6 components in our most effective marketing campaigns. First, the personal invitation is the most effective type of marketing. So we equip your members with 4x6 invitation cards that they can use to invite family, friends, and neighbors to the event. And then we've got a 4-legged stool that helps to propel that personal invitation. Direct mail is the only way to guarantee that someone in every home has an opportunity to respond. And in addition, this is another physical invitation that someone could leave on the kitchen counter to talk about with a spouse or use it to find the location when they come to the event. Next is social media advertising like Facebook and Instagram. Research shows that 3 out of 4 internet users regularly engage with social media, making it a crucial channel to reach people in your community. YouTube advertising is particularly effective at reaching younger audiences. It also allows your church to connect with people in a space where they already consume content. Plus, it helps build a personal connection with the speaker before they ever attend an event. And then we've got banners and road signs. You want to put a big banner out in front of your church, which does 2 things. People who drive by will see it and learn about the event, but just as importantly, when people come to the event, they'll know that they're in the right place. And we've found road signs to be a surprisingly effective way to raise community awareness. People often take note of what they see repeatedly, especially on familiar routes. The most effective campaigns use at least 3 of these 4 legs of the marketing stool: direct mail, social media advertising, YouTube advertising, and banners and road signs. Now, the sixth component of an effective event marketing campaign is a pre-registration website. Every invitation that you've sent out should point to a dedicated event microsite where people can learn more about the event and reserve seats. This reservation increases commitment and improves attendance rates. Most people don't respond to an invitation the first time that they see it, and that's why multi-touch marketing is essential for evangelism. Jesus illustrated this in the parable of the sower. Not every seed takes root immediately, so we need to sow broadly and repeatedly. And marketing research confirms this. The more times people see a message, the more likely they are to engage. A multi-touch campaign includes invitation cards, direct mail, social media, and YouTube ads, banners and road signs, as well as a pre-registration website. Every touch point increases the chance that someone will see, hear, and most importantly, respond to the gospel invitation. By using multiple touch points, we give the Holy Spirit more opportunities to work in people's hearts and draw them to Jesus. That's the power of multi-touch marketing. Was this helpful to you? If so, please share this with a ministry colleague who could use this message. And if you have some feedback for us, please email podcast@SermonView.com. If you'd like to learn ways you can encourage people in the digital space to take a step forward in faith, check out the last episode of Ministry Insights on how to harvest parasocial relationships for evangelism. Pastor, thank you for what you do. I know that there are days when you're questioning why you're even there, but here's what I know. God brought you to this church at this time to use your gifts and your experience to make an impact. He is doing an amazing work through you, so be strong, keep up your courage, and know that God's dreams for your church and for you are becoming a reality. I love you guys. I'm cheering for you. We'll see you next time.